Hello everyone. This video is behind the scenes review and summary for January 2013, and as you can see on the screen here, I took people's feedback into account from the last one, and I do have footage on here. And so this first clip is a small glitch that I'm not actually sure if it's still around. They probably patched it by now, but I recorded it a while ago, and it was thanks to Cinch68. And the glitch was using the superior locator after the Kalphite hive was reworked. And what the locator does, for those of you who don't know, because it is sort of a miscellaneous item that no one really uses, but it has 50 charges and allows you to teleport to certain skill resource locations. So if you open it up and you click on one of the resources, it'll teleport you to a random location that has that resource. So if you go to the herb lore ingredients there, one of the options that it could teleport you to is potato cactus in the Kalphite hive. But what happened is that they changed how the Kalphite hive is actually laid out. So the area that you were in before is actually down below a layer now. So it teleported you up into the air and you could just run around above the Kalphite hive. There's nothing to do up there. I mean, there's no places to go. You can't get to any new places. But it was just sort of cool. And so yeah, after this clip is over, it'll be a bit of me killing the Kalphite Queen. And yeah, that's in preparation for the Kalphite King, which is going to be probably the first update of the month. It's going to be a brand new boss, definitely more powerful than the Kalphite Queen. And what's really interesting about it is that they're making it a new instance area, but it's, instead of being instance like the QBD, where it's just you fighting it, you'll be able to instance and have your friends come in with you. So it won't have any issues with overcrowding, hopefully, unless it has some server related issues with too many instances or something. But there shouldn't be any issues with overcrowding, which is going to be quite nice. And yeah, definitely fun to have teams going like that. I'm interested how it'll work with people joining midway through the fight, and how it would work with a large mass, which I'll probably end up doing some live streaming of. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. And another thing that should be quite good is the actual combat for the Kalphite King. They've said that it's going to have a wide range of attack styles and different abilities and things, so we'll have to do a lot of experimenting and testing to get some good strategies, but that should be quite good. They've also, in terms of the rewards, they've confirmed that it's going to be level 90 melee weaponry, and specifically focused on dual wield. So there are going to be both main and offhand mace, longsword, and rapier drops, and they're all going to be degradable, and you'll have to repair them using resources from new Kalphite enemies. And I'm a little bit iffy on it just being melee weaponry. I think that's a little odd, but I have heard from a bunch of people actually that dual wield isn't as good as two-handed weapons for melee. I'm not sure about major range, but for melee. And so making level 90 dual wield melee weaponry might just be to balance that out and make it so that melee has the option of using dual wield or 2H. Also, along with those new Kalphite enemies that will drop the repairing stuff for these new weapons, they're also graphically reworking the old Kalphites and overhauling the drop tables, which is quite good because their drops were pretty terrible before. So hopefully that'll make them more worthwhile to kill, and yeah, hopefully that'll be good. So that's really it for the Kalphite hive. So next is the Hati wolf, and this is an update that's been around in past years. And so Hati and Skoll are two big wolves in the Fremenic area, and you just go kill them and get some wolf-themed cosmetic gear, and they're just adding another piece of cosmetic gear this year with it. Although they may add more experience or more experience in new skill. They said that you'll be able to get experience or bonus experience in combat, woodcutting, and agility. So yeah, not a major update or anything, but that was a decent one last year, I suppose. Okay, so the next one is another big one. Well, relatively big, I guess, and it's the desert area is getting a task set, and I'm definitely looking forward to that. There have been a lot of threads recently in the high-level forum, or at least a couple pretty significant ones, with lists of people's ideas on what they're going to put in the desert area as a task. So make sure you plant your cactus in advance, although Alcarid I think might be considered part of Lumbridge, but may as well do that. And yeah, so they're going to be all sorts of stuff. they said that the elite one will require 91 thieving and 89 crafting. So 91 thieving is something in the top level of pyramid plunder for sure. I'm not quite sure what said 89 crafting though. I'd have to check. And so yeah, the rewards for tasks are usually pretty good. The actual worn item in this case is the amulet, so that's quite cool. And they also said in the behind the scenes that crafters, herblarists, and miners will be particularly pleased with what they have planned. So maybe something with herblarists might be reduced costs for automatically identifying a bunch of herbs from that person in Narda. I don't know really, but maybe with the mining, well, I think the mining is likely to be an improvement on the sandstone/granite area there. I'm not really sure what it could be though. They also say that improvements to 2 of the older, more neglected desert weapons. So off the top of my head, I know one of those would be Karis, which is a weapon for killing Kalphites, which is actually, it's quite bad. I think it's like a rune longsword, a rune scimitar, but it has a chance of doing triple damage, or at least that's what it was like before the EOC. But we'll see what they do with that, and I'm not exactly sure what the other desert weapon would be. Possibly Darklight, because that was related to the that desert quest with that demon there. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe I'm completely off on that other neglected desert weapon. I can't quite recall. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to the task set. I generally like those. Just a few hours of doing lots of tasks, and yeah, that's fun. So the next update is the Demon Flash Mob, and this is similar to the Goblin Flash Mobs, which they released a while ago, but rather than being for completely complete starting accounts, complete noobs pretty much, this is going to be for significantly higher levels, and it isn't quite clear what levels it will be. It just says it's going to be much tougher than Goblin Flash Mobs, but that's not really saying much since everything is much tougher than those. And they're going to appear in dangerous locations like the wilderness, and I mean not just dangerous in terms of PvP combat, but just dangerous locations in general. So that's going to be quite cool. And in terms of rewards for that, there's going to be a new set of gear called Demon Slayer Armor, and it's going to have stats equivalent to Dragon Armor, which isn't bad at all, but it'll also give increased experience when fighting demons and an increased chance to dodge when fighting the demon general at the end of a flash mob. So that could be quite cool. It's not I mean, it says Dragon Armor equivalent. I'm not sure if the demons here are going to be centered around people of that combat who are at the level of Dragon Gear, but if so, that might be a little bit low. I wouldn't be surprised if it were around there. And then at the end of the behind the scenes article, they mentioned a few things on Solomon and Squeal Fortune, including construction packs on the Squeal Fortune, some Kalphite themed armor on the Solomon store, and also some demon looking armor on the Solomon store as well. So yeah, not really much to talk about with those. I guess we'll see them when they come out. But yeah, that's it for this video, so thanks for watching. I hope the footage was more interesting than a black screen for those of you who watched the video rather than just listening. And yeah, so thanks for watching. Thumbs up if you enjoyed, and that's it.